Yo, what's up with it, party people? It's your boy, Señor Gigio. So today I want to talk about Afrika Bambaataa, the passing of Afrika Bambaataa. There's a lot I want to get into uh, in regards to this subject. So just to get straight into it, one of the things that I want to respond to is to the people who struggle with this idea that they have to separate the art from the artist. Um, yeah. Okay, so here's my take on that. People want to enjoy the music, they want to enjoy songs, they want to, they have strong memories attached to songs and to music. And by through that too, they got strong attachments to these particular artists who, especially somebody like people like you can look at people like Afrika Bambaataa. You can look at somebody like Michael Jackson. These kinds of people where it's not just the songs that they made, but they kind of were like their own genre in a lot of ways. Even Bambaataa functioning within hip hop and being like a leader and a quote unquote founder of hip hop. When you think of the music, when you think of Planet Rock, start looking for the perfect beat. These kinds of songs, they all, kind of bring you back to a very particular era, like the dance era of it. And just, it was like, it's really cool music. It's super enjoyable, right? And I'm sure I can imagine. I know that music has moved me. I've seen it move others. We've all seen the music move people. We've seen dope dancers and all kinds of people do dope stuff through those songs. We've even heard people sample those songs and do their own really incredible renditions of those songs that we also enjoy that too, right? So then people they feel split, they feel torn because they're like, well, how do I enjoy the music now? Now that I know the truth about this person. Well, all right, so there's a lot of things I want to say about that. For one, I feel like if you enjoy the music, then you should enjoy the music. If you don't enjoy the music, now that your image, the image and the story behind it has been tainted, then I think that that's your truth. And I think that you should dig deeper into your truth because that's real and you can't ignore it. Okay. And one of the questions that I've heard, I don't know if I'm repeating myself here, but one of the questions that I've heard, the sentiments that's expressed from few people is, how do I separate the art from the artist? Uh, I don't think you have to, but here's my perspective on it. Nobody's bigger than the music, and nobody is bigger than the movement. The music is bigger than the artists who create the music. So that's just the truth. That's how I look at it, especially if you hold it dearly. And then when you start getting into certain artists and certain songs that carry a extra higher vibrational message and awareness, well, those songs are definitely bigger than the artists who put it out, who create it. It's like myself, this is something I've had to kind of learn myself and navigate myself, being somebody who is involved in hip hop music and just in music in general. And this is something that I love for myself to have this outlet. I love to be able to create. I love to be able to explore my mind, explore my heart, explore my soul, explore these different aspects of life through music, through hip hop music, through emceeing, through beats and rhymes. And it's something I intend to do for as long as possible until the good Lord comes to take me away. So I've felt like I've been at different points in my journey. You know, well, first I want to say, like, music is super powerful. It's a super powerful thing to be involved in. It's a super powerful thing to create. It's a super powerful thing to perform, and it's just as powerful to listen, to experience it, to dance. These are very powerful things. And then I wonder, how much of our culture, of our mainstream culture and awareness and thinking in our world today is synthesized, is influenced and impressed upon us in terms of what we're supposed to think, what we should want from music, and even for artists, what we should want for ourselves as musicians. So, the most sensible thing, or at least the most seemingly sensible thing, is if you're an artist, you're a musician, if you're an MC, if you rap, if you're involved in hip hop, the thing that's going to be impressed upon you is that, hey, you need to get big, you need to be famous, you need to make a lot of money off of what you do, you need to be top billing, everybody needs to know who you are. That's impressed upon you. That's my opinion. So you have all these different people that's what they want, but is it really what they want, or is it what they've been taught that they want that? So that's what I've had to figure out myself, because definitely even in my humble walk, my underground walk, with the things that I'm interested in, and with my ideals, and with things that I like, that kind of thinking and mentality is still prevalent, and it's still influenced upon a lot of us. So I've had to, in my own walk, kind of learn how to discern that and to put that shit to the side, because it ain't really what I want from what I do. So the thing is that music is so powerful, you can get carried away with your music. You can get carried away through the music. And now we're living in a society, in a time when so many of us lack guidance or lack an understanding of a greater spiritual truth. When you look at old times and maybe simpler times, you think about communities, pre-colonization, pre all this bullshit. You might have had a group of people, they had a spiritual awareness, something that they understood that kept them grounded, you know? We don't have that in our society. We have music. We've got big stars. We've got celebrities. We've got technology. So, you know, but we're all gifted people. You know, a lot of us are very gifted and we want to do good things. We want to do great things with our talents and with our gifts. So we're just going off of what's shown to us, where to turn to with it. So you make music, you got a talent for music, then you probably more likely it's going to be pretty common, I think, that you're going to go a particular direction or try to. But I've been continuing to want to do this, and, you know, I've learned a lot of things from the creative experience, from doing what I do, from making music, putting it out, performing, meeting other artists, meeting artists I admire. I've been so young in this. I have been so young. So young in this, and so excited in this. And the music has always excited me. The talent has always excited me. People's gifts, seeing people shine, you know, has excited me. I mean, there have been people that I've met in my life, you know, they're not famous, but to me, you know, at different moments, at different times, they were incredible and they inspired me, you know, or they made me feel like, whoa, you know, mind-blowing shit. You know, and then if you don't have a solid foundation for your life and a solid understanding of, you know, who you are and your relationship with God, with your soul, you can get swept away. It's so easy to get swept away in this, especially when we're dealing with music, because music is so powerful. Like I said, music is very, very powerful. It is a very powerful act, completely, because in music, we are taking something abstract that exists in another dimension, and we're bringing it to reality through the sound, through the vibration. We're translating that. So, you know, there's kind of like if you're not grounded, there can be a blur of what's real and what isn't. And you know, then plus, you know, making music, it's while you're making music and creating music and performing it, it's like you have to go be extra imaginative. You got to be imaginative. You got to be willing to express yourself, go out there, be experimental, feel yourself, you know, expand in that way. But, you know, again, without that foundation, you might believe you're this and you're that, and you'll believe that you're the, you know, I don't know, freaking Hercules. You'll think that you're a prophet. You could think that you're a god to be worshipped. You could think that you're the greatest, untouchable, that you're a star, a star. And, you know, that's not what I want for myself. That's not what I want out of what I do or out of my experience in creating music and putting it out there and doing all that. And it's not what I want for others to get out of what I do. So maybe I'll just keep coming back to the question. The question is, how do you separate the art from the artist? You know, and when we're talking about hip hop, we're talking about Afrika Bambaataa, right? He's credited as being a founder, you know, as being somebody who, he's even been called the godfather of hip hop. I've called him that at different times. I've acknowledged him in that way too. And there have been a lot of great ideas that have been produced through Bambaataa. You know, the peace, love, unity, having fun, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, overstanding, the elements, the hip hop elements, you know, MCing, DJing, breaking, graffiti. But, you know, really, like, they've been some cool ideas, you know. But I wonder if we give anybody too much credit sometimes, because hip hop has never just been about one person. Now, you could like sit there and you could peep the work that he is credited for, and like, oh my God, how do I? But he did this and he did that. Well, you know, the truth is that hip hop works. It works. It worked. It continues to work. So he's not bigger than that. Somebody else, in my opinion, would have had that role if not for him. It's just like, when you really look at hip hop, you know, I mean, it's personal to a lot of us because, again, you know, it's like we're experiencing something powerful. But I think that we also need to relax a little bit, you know, and that we need to chill just a little bit and be sensible human beings and be humans, you know, and be realistic about what we are and who we are as a species, to just relax. It's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. And I'm saying this as a hip hop artist. Hip hop works, you know. It was the people that made it happen. If he was the messenger, fine. If he brought it there, fine. But the people made it happen. It's the people that made it happen all around the world who gravitated toward the music, toward the expression, toward the breakdancing, toward MCing, DJing, and graffiti, and then some. Because we can even look at it like at this point, like a lot of that kind of thinking, really, if you want to break it down, is kind of archaic in a way, because I mean, you're kind of simplifying, as much as hip hop has grown, you're simplifying the what it really is too. You're just saying, okay, hip hop is just MCing, DJing, breakdancing, and graffiti. Okay, but it's more than that too, because you got producers, beat makers, you got crate diggers, you got so many different elements. You got beatboxers, you got and even you got various forms of dance, not just breakdancing. So it's interesting. So I guess yeah, nobody is bigger than the music. If they make good music, they're not bigger than the music they created. They're not bigger than the movement. It's all about the people at the end of the day. We're the ones who make this happen. That's my opinion on it. That's my feeling on it. The other thing too is like, I want to get back a little bit to relating to this as an independent artist, as somebody, I do this, what I'm saying, writing, recording, putting out albums, all this. And I think that I'm damn good. But I've kind of had to learn that none of that means anything. It's a blessing to be good at what you do. It's a blessing to do what you love to do and be good at what you do, and to continue getting better at what you love to do. And there really is no greatest. A lot of people are great. A lot of people are great. There's a lot of greats everywhere. People have greatness in them. And if they're able to express it, then, that should be applauded. I'm just trying to keep doing this as long as I can do it. Again, I've been a fan of many great artists. I'm still a fan, but I've had to learn nothing is worth fanning out over, is kind of what I've learned. Sometimes when you fan really hard on something, it actually takes away the joy and the actual enjoyment of something that you actually like, something that you might actually enjoy. I think it's good to be able to appreciate and enjoy good music, good art, and to be entertained. I think it's, cool also to be studied and to have knowledge on different people's works and catalogs, and to have an appreciation. But I think that we've been mistaught. They want everybody to be a fan. They want all of us to all be some fans of the next person. And I think it's limiting. I think it's okay to be a fan. Look, don't get me wrong. It's cool to be a fan, but I'm just talking about fanning. We're all made by God, and we should continue to mature in our walk. We got to teach kids better. We got to teach young people better that they don't need to be fanning out over nobody, and that they, if they're going to do what they love to do, that they don't need people to fan out over them. Because I think it's dangerous, or it can be dangerous. It's not just that it's dangerous, but it's false. Okay, it's false. It's false, and it's you're just shortchanging yourself, and you're giving more to somebody else. That's all it is. You're shortchanging yourself. You're giving more to somebody else. Give people their credit. Appreciate, if you like the music, appreciate the music, enjoy the music. Don't idolize anybody. Stop idolizing people. Hip hop is a tool. We all have the ability to use it as a tool. Even at this day and age, you've kind of learned that people teach other people how to rap. They got classes now. People put classes together and they teach people how to rap. So you could teach pretty much anybody how to rap. I've had to figure that out myself. Like, okay, like, even though I think I'm hella good, I didn't do no damn class. I didn't do no school for it. You know, it's a whole different era now for people where that's presented to them as an option. Like, hey, you can learn hip hop in school. That's not my coming into it. But, you know, it just shows that anybody can learn how to do it. But it's what you do with it. Okay, so Bambaataa, it was a tool that was available to him that actually he obviously had access to as a tool before the multitude. And he chose to do what he did with it. You know? In my opinion, when you make higher vibrational music and you have a higher vibrational message, then that makes you even more accountable for your bullshit and for your wickedness. Because you got people like Diddy and all these jokers, you know what I'm saying? They put out the bullshit that they put out. So, you know, and then they go and they do the bullshit that they do. But when you do wickedness in the guise of peace, love, unity, having fun, and a spiritual vibration, it don't work. So, you know, the other thing I want to speak on is it's just crazy because we have to be adults. It's crazy that this is really like a conversation amongst adults, because kids, they don't know who the hell Afrika Bambaataa is. Some do, but not really. That's not their generation. This is older people having this conversation. Adults, and some much older adults. And I feel like, you know, again, if you're conflicted about how you feel about it, then I think that you should dig a little deeper into that and figure it out for yourself. That's probably your truth. You know, you should be true to yourself is the point. You don't have to be true to hip hop. You don't have to be, none of this means nothing. It don't mean nothing if nobody's being true and authentic, because that is a hip hop ideal too. Authenticity, being true, keeping it real. Be true to yourself. Don't be true to nobody else. Don't be true to your perception of what this thing is. And to the people, you know, they want to keep being fans and they want to enjoy the music, you should, you know. But you look and sound ridiculous when you try and jump in front of this terrible man and try to defend it, or even try to give him too much credit. Like, dude, like, we got to stop with all this idol worshiping. We got to stop with all this, oh man, he introduced this and this and this and this. So what? So what? Even if he did, so what? Because you know what? When even if you peep game, and the more you learn and the more you look at all these different, you know, spiritual teachings, you know, the guru gonna tell you that you don't need a guru, that you're the guru. It's not about following nobody. Don't give your power away to anybody. Just be a fan and shut the fuck up. Enjoy the goddamn song. Listen to it. Go fucking break dance. Go break dance. Go do a fucking windmill and listen to Planet Rock and relax. Okay? But don't be foolish. Don't be a foolish adult and try and jump in front of the man and go try and argue with people and oh, this and that, everybody's being mean, don't judge, don't judge. So this is something I wonder too, is how much of our culture is synthesized, how much of these ideas are impressed upon us to think and adopt certain values, philosophies. You know, how much of it is our own, what we would come up with, we the people, if we the people were a free, sovereign people who were a free, sovereign people, governed ourselves as a free, sovereign group of people, wholesome people, you know, where love mattered, where peace where peace was truly mattered, you know. Then do you think? I wonder how much of these ideas would be there still, and how much of the shit is impressed upon us by the enemy. So one thing that you hear put out there is, hey, don't be hating, don't hate, stop hating. Oh, you hating. I get it, because fools play or hate and fools hate, but how much of that kind of logic that's put out there that's impressed upon you to say, hey, don't step out of line. If you step out of line, you a hater. But who's that coming from? And who's that taught by? Is that taught by us? Or is that taught by the motherfucking fools who are manipulating shit? You know, especially if you're looking at, you know, our realm of hip hop, where we look at the history of hip hop, where it's coming from. Hey, it's coming from underprivileged, poverty-stricken places. And, you know, we could even, you know, go deep and to see the, like, yo, like, the shit's been planned for to a certain way to make sure that people who try to go through the system the right way and do shit the right way and, you know, be law-abiding citizens, and that they don't make it. So who you got to answer to? You're either going to answer to the government, or you're going to answer to the fucking criminals who run the community. And none of them is really your friend. They all have their own fucking interests. So that's where these different ideas start to come from, in my opinion. They're going to tell you don't hate. They don't want you to be a hater. Don't judge. That's another one. They tell you don't judge. Where does that come from? People try and say that that's in the Bible. They tell you don't judge, only God can judge. Is that true? You have to be a good judge of character. You got to learn how to judge. It's your responsibility to judge and to peep things. Now, does that mean that you're the one who sentences? You don't have to be the sentencer. You don't have to be you don't have to be the one who exerts justice in that way, I guess. But you should judge. Trust yourself to judge. Trust yourself. Give your power to yourself. So that's one. If you got eyes, you can see. If you live a life and you've lived it true, then you can be a good judge. You can peep game. They don't want you to hate. All right? They don't want you to judge. What's the other one? Don't snitch. I get that. I mean, look, all these different things, they have a point, but the thing is when is it used against a group of people to trap them and to isolate them? See what I'm saying? Because it's manipulation. When it's to the point that these different ideas, like don't judge, don't hate, don't snitch, when it's to the point that it's embedded in people's consciousness, in people's psyches, then you know that these are things that are influenced. Because if you trust yourself and you lead yourself, then you can trust yourself to make the best decisions for yourself and to do the right thing, which is what's more important. Do the right thing. And there's so when you're looking at this kind of situation right here, don't snitch. Okay, so are these different people who come out and speak out against their abuser? Now there's a stigma against them because it's within the realm of telling. You're supposed to keep your mouth shut. All these things are about control and manipulation, is my point. So I understand it's taken me a while to arrive to this point, but I've just been decompressing and sitting and thinking about these things. They want you to want what they want you to want. You're an artist. Okay, you want to be famous. You want to be rich. You want to be on the big stage with all the other famous people. That's what you want because we told you want that. And that's what you see with all your peers who are also making music, making art. That's what they want. So you're going to do what they do too. And you think you want it. Oh, you're a fan. You love this music. Bow down. Hold it high. Hold the artist high. And be a fan forever until you die. Spend the money. Buy the tickets, buy the merch, buy everything. It's hella funny because shit. It's just crazy, man. All I gotta say is that you gotta have a level of discernment for these things, and you gotta be able to question things. You got to be able to hold anything and everything to scrutiny. All right. And that's what I've had to learn how to do in order to continue doing what I love to do in the way that I love to do it, which is truly and fully. Or I've had to be real about this shit because it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing to be dope. It really don't. I've seen hella dope ass rappers, fools come dope, and then next time you see them, they come whack. It don't mean anything. What matters is to keep going and to keep cultivating and to be able to continue the process of life. That's what matters. If you got music, you got art in your life as a medium to do that, then that's number one. And if you have the blessing to be able to share that with others who enjoy, what you're creating, then that's a beautiful thing. You know, it really is. It's a beautiful thing. And you have to learn how to appreciate it. You got to learn how to be grateful for it, because, you know, nothing is promised. And, you know, it's just sharing. Sharing is caring. You got something in your heart, you want to share it, you express it, you get it out there. People dig it. That's what's up. That's a beautiful thing. So, you know, there's much more I would like to say, much more I could say, but I'll kind of, we're with this subject. This is all kind of like spawned off of Afrika Bambaataa, his passing, and his influence in hip hop, and not just in hip hop, but just beyond, right? Making it global, international, right? But you know, I'm trying to share my perspective on it as an artist and as somebody who loves music. So none of this is the holy grail. The music ain't the holy grail. It really ain't. It's a feeling. You make some beautiful music. You hear some beautiful music. That's what's up. You hear something that inspires you to do something great. That's what's up. But it's not the holy grail. It's not. It's a tool. It's a powerful tool. And, you know, obviously music is a part of our lives and who we are as people. People, we need music. That's what we do. You know, music is a part of us. So we're going to continue to have music because we need it. You know, it's an essential. You know, as we got the beat. You know, and then we got melody. We got vibrations. But it's just it's important to just see that, you know, how all of this has transpired to where we're at today. You know, how we've all been able to experience music together, and what the truth is of how those things unfolded. Because if it wasn't for big record labels and a big industry and mainstream music and, you know, all these things, technology blowing it up, we would still have music in our lives. We'd still be making music. It's a part of who we are, you know, and we would still find ways to make powerful music and to experience music powerfully from other people, from artists who do it. You know, people are good at what they do. There's a lot of great artists and a lot of great musicians out there who are incredible, you know. You don't know who they are. I don't know who they all are. There's so many. And there have been many. And there will continue to be many. So we got to be realistic about what it is and how all of this has come to be. That there has been an interest, for better or for worse. I'm not saying it's all bad, but the point is to understand that there has been an interest and an agenda to make, you know, if something's on the market to sell, they got to sell that shit. And they got to make sure they sell it, and they got to make sure that they convey it. And okay, we're going to make this a commodity. Okay, cool. Let's give it a look. Let's give it some clothes. Let's do this and that. Let's make sure it hits and that it resonates, because we don't want that shit to fail, because we can make big bucks and we can get them to move to the beat that we want them to move to. So there's an interest in getting these things to be what they are. There's a reason why we experience that shit on a mass level. Okay? So, you know, and just don't be no sucker. Don't be a sucker, bruh. Don't be a sucker, sis. Don't be a sucker. Motherfuckers have been bamboozling J-Cats since the beginning. Since a motherfucker could figure out how to lie and how to sell a lie and how to make themselves look really nice doing it, they've been doing it and they'll continue to do it. So it's not really that big of a shock. People got to get over it. You got to get over it. Okay? Grow up. Man up. Woman up. Brothers, put your big boy pants on. Put your grown man underwear on. Ladies, put your big girl panties on. It's time to keep going. Look ahead. Can't be fazed by stupid ass shit like that, because it's small time thinking. We've been alive on this planet for a very long fucking time. Too long to be fanning out and to be tripping off a fucking asshole or any asshole or anybody. You know, on all levels. On all levels. If you like somebody's music and you go check them out and you like the music and they were an asshole to you, fuck that fool. All right? It don't mean nothing. Nobody's nobody. Nobody has a right to treat anybody like anything. They have, they have a skill. We have a skill and we're trying to make a job out of it in our own way. You wouldn't take that shit from nobody else. You wouldn't be like, man, this fool over here, he's a great landscaper. Man, he's the best landscaper, but he's an asshole. You would be like, fuck that fool. We're providing a service. That's all it is. Music, we're working. We're working. We're not gods. Don't worship nobody. You don't worship your landscaper, do you? You could be a fan of your landscaper's work. Wow, it's a fucking amazing landscaping. Shit. Holy shit. I made my life better. Made my life doper. It's the same thing with music. Great song. Fucking dope. Made my life and my experience better, doper. I know how to use it. I got something I can vibe to when I'm driving, when I'm doing my thing. That's what's up. But you ain't got to worship it. God. Yeah, let's go to the God subject, okay? God is the truth. We're all created by the Creator. So we all have creativity within us. We all have the power and the ability to be creative. And apparently, you could teach anybody to do anything. That's why they have classes for everything. Whatever it is that you want to do. You want to rap? Now they got classes for you. You want to rap good? They'll teach you how to rap really good. And of course, certain people are going to excel and be able to achieve more artistically, with the natural talent that they have. But we all know the beat. We all know the beat. We all have voices. You could teach anybody how to rap now. You could teach anybody how to sew. You could teach anybody how to paint. You could teach anybody how to do all these different things. Okay? So these are tools, okay? The tools can be great tools, and we can do amazing things with them, and we can open up new pathways, and we can have great experiences and share amazing ideas with others, and we can also just have therapy within what we do, but yeah. All right, y'all. I'm about winded on this right now, but I hope that that I was able to share some things that are eye-opening and sobering. That's really the point of my conversation today, this vlog, is to just kind of sober you up a little bit so we can all sober up from all of this madness, so that we can actually continue doing what we love to do and enjoying what we love to enjoy. You know, it's not about killing the joy. It's actually about sobering you up from the bullshit so that you can enjoy what you enjoy, you know? And yeah. So on that note, let me get my little plugs in. Your boy Señor Gigio. Got lots of new music coming, some new art, all of the above. Make sure you hit my merch, www.senorgigio.guru/merch. And yeah, I'm curious on your thoughts too, as well, on if this vlog has sparked any ideas or sentiments or anything you want to share. Feel free to drop a comment right there. And all right, y'all, one love and God bless. Peace.